Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, I want you to realize something that I think a lot of times we take for granted, and that is that most fish, most species they're school fish. They hang together, just like animals, just like people do. We all need to be together to find our strengths, to find our safety, it's just the way of life. And so how does this relate to when you go fishing? Well, here's the thing. You can go out and that old saying that 10% of the fish, that 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water. In other words, most of the water, any place you go, with a few exceptions, is void of fish. The fish are going to gather, and they're going to gather together at certain locations in that water that make sense to them, that feed them, that shelter them, that provide them with safety. Those are the places the fish are going to be. But here's the point. If you're fishing, especially a new area, and you don't catch any fish, and all of a sudden you get a bite, all of a sudden you get a strike, there's going to be other fish there. So stick with that spot, because if you get one strike and the fish are at all able to strike at that time, in other words, if they're not all lethargic and not moving, then you'll probably get another strike. Fish species are school. They school together. Just like birds flock together. You see one bird, you're going to see a number of them around. And so I think this is something we should keep in mind. Even fish that you don't think of as schooling as much, like northern pike. We think of northern pike as an ambush fish, that they're alone and they're hiding in the weeds or waiting to swim out and attack something that goes by that doesn't know they're there. But in my history of fishing, most of the time, even right now, if I go out in a couple days and I'm fishing for northern pike, if I catch one in a certain part of the water, there's going to be others around there. It's always the case. They may be a small school. It may be a group of maybe a dozen fish. It could be more, but they also will stick together. Every fish wants to be with its own kind. And a lot of times they'll stick with their own age group. That's why you'll say, well, I've just caught a whole bunch of little ones in this spot, because that year class is hanging together. So these are things that no matter how we fish, no matter whether we're a skilled bass fisherman or we're a weekend angler that loves to go out and fish along shore and catch some panfish, it's important for us to realize that if we catch one in one area, we're probably going to catch more, because that's an area those fish are finding something where they can all share together. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.